For more on this, let's speak to Alex Scrivener, Executive Director of the Democratic Security Institute, a pro-democracy think tank based in Tbilisi. And I understand overnight you were at the demonstrations. Do you have any hope that it may still prevent the government passing this law?
Well, historically, protests in Georgia do work. This law was an attempt to pass this law, something very similar to it last year, and mass street protests forced the government to U-turn. Unfortunately, this time, the government seems much more intent in putting its law through, and that has caused even larger protests. And we're at a stage now where it feels like there's a standoff. The overwhelming majority of Georgians, 80 to 90% of which support EU membership, are out, supporting these protests. This government was elected in 2020 on a mandate of supporting EU membership, and now we have a government here which has U-turned on that and is insistent on passing this law, which EU and US officials have been very clear in saying that it is incompatible with EU membership.
Yes, we had last week, we had President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, tweeting saying that Georgia is at a crossroads. It should stay on the road, stay the course on the road to Europe. So do you really think that it would jeopardise that path to Europe, to being part of Europe, if this does go ahead?
Oh, there's no question about that at all. Despite the government rhetoric, it's absolutely clear that this law is incompatible with further progress on Georgia's path to EU membership. And that's clear from statements from EU officials and from legal analysis of the text. This is basically a copy-paste job of similar legislation in a whole range of authoritarian countries, most controversially Russia, but also Azerbaijan, Hungary, and other places where there have been crackdowns on civil society freedoms. And the EU has been very clear that if Georgia passes this, then EU membership is off the table while it's on the books.
Alex Scrivener, thank you very much indeed for your thoughts on the subject.